Good day everyone and welcome to Exile News, the weekly show that brings you all the important news and informations on Path of Exile. And the first news this week is the daily deal watch list. So GGG made a watch list for everyone to use for their own account, and pretty much what you can do is add a microtransaction to this watch list, or as many as you want actually, and it will notify you by sending an email when that said microtransaction will be on the daily deal. So this is really good for those who do not play or cannot play every day, or just maybe can't check the site and do not know when something goes on sale, so that you don't risk on missing your microtransaction that you've been waiting ages for it to go on sale. So I'll say that's definitely something neat, and hopefully more quality of life regarding MTXs will be added, especially in the inventory for said MTXs, because that's a real mess right now. Also, we got some statistics because it's around the 9th week of the league, and GGG said it's been the most engaging league so far, so the player retention has been higher than usual, and that's definitely really good for GGG and for players as well, and the economy. So as you can see, the usual graph for the challenges, a lot of players who get to the 24, so to the second big microtransaction, try to go to the 36. A couple more, you can see it drops, but this is higher than it usually is, and you can see 2.3% of players already completed the 36 challenges at least, and around 12% completed the 24th challenge. So I think these are a little bit higher than usual, especially this lower one, but also there's usually in the last weeks of the leagues a skyrocketing of this part of the graph over here, because everyone tries to complete the challenges before the leagues end, and the channels are like full. Global 820 is pretty much a challenge competition channel at that point, so we'll definitely see a spike in this part of the graph right here, but that's still early. There's still a couple of weeks left, so, or more than a couple of weeks left, so it's still not that moment. Also, we got some tabs, or some Excels, I will say, about the essences that have been used, and we can see there are 4 essences that really take up the spot of most used ones, and it's the flat life, the flat yes, the flat added damage, physical added damage, and the cold flat damage, also the cold resistance, which is definitely one of the biggest resistances you need. So you can see these 4 essences are really the most used, and I'm sure GGG is going to use all of these tabs, which also show other things like the tier breakdown for use of each essence, where they got used, and all the kind of stuff. GGG is definitely going to use these data to balance essences, because I feel essences will become part of the game. They're definitely going to be tweaked a little bit, just like every mechanic after league end, but it's definitely going to stay, so that's pretty good. And also we got the mechanics for the Scorching Ray skill gem. So not last week, a couple weeks ago, we got a teaser video about this new channel skill that was supposed to come, and that's still coming before the league's end, when GGG feels like they are ready to drop the new 2.4.2 plus 2.4.3 patches all together. And basically this array, we now know that it follows your cursor. Well, that was pretty obvious from the video, but it ignites every monster it hits, and the more you stay on that monster, the more you strip it away from its fire resistance. So that's definitely strong. Also, the more you channel the skill, the higher the beam burns. So you can really stand your ground and deal a lot of damage. It kind of feels like what the old Incendiary was, where you just go full block, stand your ground, and let your Incendiary charge and shotgun everything. Of course, shotgunning doesn't exist, but you can still do a lot of damage, and I'm sure this might work as well. So cast speed, really good for this skill, because you can turn faster and the damage ticks faster. So you ignite more often and you strengthen the ray more often. So that's definitely a very needed stat. And the skill can be supported by effects that modify damage over time, elemental damage, burning damage, duration, and cast speed. So the duration, I guess it affects the ignite duration, but there are a couple gems that really empower your skill, and you might, if you don't go the ignite route and you just go flat damage, you can definitely get a really strong Scorching Ray. So hopefully this will be a very viable skill and very fun to play as well. I mean, the graphics didn't look that great because it looked a lot like Incinerate, but still, it's a new skill, so there's a lot of way to go, and it's not even released yet, so I'll say it's a bit too soon to talk about that. And last, we got the new build of the week. This time it has been chosen by the community, so you might have seen already this build from Reddit, and it's the Tactical Nuke, or so-called Tactical Nuke, and I feel like the name actually fits the build for once. So he uses the Eye of Innocence, you can see here, where you take fire damage when you ignite an enemy. His totems do ignite a lot, so the totems get fire damage. However, he has the Marauder passive, or the Chieftain passive, where his totems are immune to fire damage. So the totem ignites, they take fire damage, or they take the hit even though they take no damage, and this procs the other Marauder or Chieftain passive, where the totems explode for 8% of their life around them. And it also has the gloves that reverse the knockback, so the totems hit enemies, they set them on fire, and they also knock them back into the totem, and the totems are at the same time exploding every time they set an enemy on fire for a lot of their life. And of course you can scale through the passive tree, you can scale the totem life, so it's definitely really interesting. It's strange, but it works, and it's definitely a cool mechanic, something you don't see around a lot. And yeah, I'm gonna say this definitely is a build of the week worthy of such name. So it's also the last episode of this season, so hopefully next time we'll see some new skills. For example, the new channel skills we talked about a couple minutes ago. So definitely a good series, definitely interesting, and maybe, given the new influx of Diablo 3 player regarding the latest news that Blizzard gave at BlizzCon, maybe we'll see some new builds that people who come fresh into the game can think of before they are actually channeled into the meta. But anyway, that was all for this week. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and a comment down below. Also, if you want to remain updated every week, be sure to subscribe to my channel. So that was all. I've been your host Giorgio, and I'll see you guys the next time.